Hey, what's going on? It's Intellect again with another video, and well, first off, I want to apologize for not uploading recently. I meant to get more into Guardian Tales, but I really just didn't even have time to go that hard on my account. But now that Genshin's out and I got a little bit more time, figured I'd catch up. So I saw a bunch of other content creators making beginner guides and such, but I didn't think that I think they missed a lot of points, so I figured I'd make my own. So we're gonna jump straight into it. So the first tip I would say is to focus on one or two heroes through the story, because I've seen plenty of people run out of both materials and EXP already, literally 2 days after release, and they're stuck grinding for progress. So grinding mobs for EXP is not worth it, not at all. It's incredibly slow and inefficient. Keep in mind that your team will change as you get more experience and pull more, so don't become too attached unless it's a character you actually think you'll stick with till endgame. For the first two, I'd look for two heroes who are opposite elements, so you can have a good carry for any element and no real weaknesses. You can also just juice one character if their basic attacks, or because their basic attacks don't use elemental damage for the carry. However, it of course won't be as effective. Hopefully you can grab a character you really like, because for example, like my first few rerolls I got Mona, and I thought that was going to be it because it's like 0.6%, and I just didn't want to spend all day rerolling. For reference, I put in 28 rerolls to get Diluc, and boy am I glad I did, because when I was playing Mona, I honestly wasn't actually enjoying the games too much, just because every 5-star, or well, most characters in general, have a pretty unique playstyle. Like say for Mona, when she sprints, she dies underground and becomes invisible, etc, etc. So for my playstyle, I chose Diluc and absolutely love the game now, since he fits my playstyle. I mean, I was a Reinhardt mate in Overwatch, so expected. They put in quite a bit of work. I'd spend some time experimenting to see what you like, and I would recommend rerolling. Keep in mind the 5-star rates are 0.6%, which is why I think rerolling is a necessity, since from the 5 stars I've tried so far, all played pretty uniquely. Make sure you roll through the beginner banners first also, because it guarantees new characters for your first 20 rolls. I also recommend rerolling because you want to save your primo gems for either future banners or to refresh stamina for progression. Keep in mind that mileage is at 180 rolls, and just a 5-star random 5-star at 90. 180 rolls is for the banner. So it'll be quite some time before you can actually save enough mileage. Luckily, this game's character progression is so unique and takes so long that I don't think it's hard to save. For me, I already forgot about the role since I'm happy with my current team and just want to see them get stronger. Like on this account, I literally only have 2 10 pools, and that's it. And I'm happy, progressing through story and everything just fine. So going back to team comps, for me, I know I'm sticking with Diluc, which as you can see, so the rest of my team is built around with Razor giving overload damage buffs with my fire, Kaya with his ulti to add melting damage bonuses to Diluc, and Barbara as my healer, since Diluc is built as a berserker for damage at the moment, not so much for sustainability. So same thing applies to gear. You'll get plenty of 4-star equipment as you progress through side quests and chests. So make sure you only really upgrade 4-star gear unless it's a weapon you're using, and you don't want to be wasting materials since this isn't an auto grind gacha where you can AFK grind for materials and whatnot. Everything takes time, so keep in mind that the artifact stats also vary, so don't just fodder your gear if you have multiples. Make sure the one you're using as fodder has worse stats for your character. Similar to games like Epic 7 or E7, your character playstyle can also change depending on your gear. So for example, my Diluc can be built as a YOLO damage dealer on Berserker or be run as a bruiser or tank for elemental supplement. Also, don't invest too much in 3-star weapons, since 4-star weapons will be huge early game because of the flat damage bonus. Ideally, you want your artifacts to give percentage, so the higher the flat damage on your weapon, the more attack you'll have overall. And trust me, it's a huge difference. Number 3, as soon as you hit AR7, go get your journal from the same place you've been getting your adventurer rank rewards, so you can start burning your stamina on ley lines and dungeons for more AR EXP. Ideally, you would never want to be full in stamina so you can constantly regen, or by stamina I mean the resin. So early game, not sure about late game, AR level is the most important thing to keep track of because it unlocks many of the game's core features like the battle pass, random events around the world, and dailies. And if you want to progress fast, grind those quests. And not just features like Battle Pass and random events, but things like your world rank will also go up as you're grinding up your AR rank, and that in turn gives you better loot drops as you progress. For the fourth tip, I would say pick up everything. You will need it, especially if you're like me and don't use a healer. Well, I do now, but before AR20 I didn't have a healer, so I was constantly spamming meds, and because my team was all melee, I couldn't really hunt, and I was wondering why I was running out of meds. Yeah, don't do what I did. But that also ties into crafting for cooking, so it'll also increase in proficiency after a number of cooks that vary in numbers, so you can auto craft. So every time you craft, you don't have to go through the whole tachometer? I don't really know what to call it. Fifth and final tip, I would just like to say, if the enemy is challenging and you're by water, it's always faster just to bait them to the edge and knock them off. If you knock them into the deep water, it should instant kill them and place their items where you can grab them. It's a good tip for the southern region where many of the mini bosses may be already walking along the shore, asking you for them to knock you in. Say like those, oh man, I can't remember, those purple mages or the dudes with the dual daggers. The guy with the double daggers, that's the best hit for, because he does heavy charging attack that'll send him straight through an invisible wall in the water and it'll just kill him instantly. But some monsters like the those rock golems that remind me of the golems from La Vita, they do not fall into the water and die, so you're just gonna have to beat them in. But yeah, that'll be it for my top 5 tips. Thank you for watching, and make sure you leave a suggestion to let me know what else you would like to know about the game as I'm progressing. I'm progressing at a pretty decent rate right now. I'm Adventurer 24, so 2 days in, not bad, not too shabby, and hopefully I can just unlock more and more things and make more and more guides. I just got into the abyss, but oh man, I've been just too busy exploring and enjoying the game, honestly. You're always rewarded for exploring. That's what I love about this game. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.